Hello, hello. I hope everyone's doing well this weekend. I was in the middle of a conversation because I needed to start the Furina quest. Hi, babies.
Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
I was going to start up the Furina quest. It's like, hey, you need to talk to Catherine first because you haven't yet in Fontaine. I'm like, oh, right. Shit. Whatever. Hi, Punisher. Hi, y'all. I'm expecting this to be incredibly sad and or fucked up. But we'll see what happens. But I hope everyone's having a good day and a good weekend. You don't have to be so direct, Paimon. Let's...
Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
To be fair, I'm rolling in Mora. I'm fine for now until I start leveling up characters again.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role.
Oh, we just want to be actors. You know what? That's what we're doing today. We're just actors. This has nothing to do with Furina at all.
But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
The Dark Souls role-playing book? You know what? Actually, hold on. Pause. That doesn't surprise me.
That does sound like a tricky situation.
There's a
So
TTRPG
basically,
for
they're
just about
looking for a
everything out there in the
volunteer?
world.
That's right. Our
Especially
adventurers
something like
reached
Dark
out
Souls
to
that would
many
actually fit pretty
actresses,
well. Be a
but
really
none of
brutal
them were
one.
willing to take
You
the
don't have to
job.
worry about death. It's like, oh, my character died. Do I need to re-roll a new one? What? No, just fucking get back to the bonfire.
There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas?
You do have to worry about death? It uses similar mechanics to D&D. Fair enough. D&D is very simple to use, very easy to homebrew. Everyone knows it. Not entirely, but you get the idea. What do you mean you have to worry about? Well, I mean, you lose your humanity. To be fair, actually, now thinking about it, Critical Role did that Elden Ring one-shot. But I don't remember if they were all tarnished or not. I don't remember how... To be fair, none of them died. I don't remember. Anyways.
Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there.
Oh, wow. What... Interesting timing, my dude. Were you just standing there listening to us talk the whole time?
Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Write that character out of the script. Put them in a coma.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
Now you have to roll a d2. If you get a 1, your hollow ash one loses their mind and is unable to... Ah. Okay, you know what? You know what? That makes sense, actually.
Paimon approves, let's go!
Very interesting. Death is not... is potentially not the end.
Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Hold your horses there, buddy.
Wow,
I can't sing.
sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot.
It is rather unfortunate, but you do need to pay your actors.
If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees.
Boy, that's a mood.
If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
What you require is a very rich sponsor. And lucky for you, I'm not that person. Rich, yes. Sponsor, possibly.
Disband?
Depends.
You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe. One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note.
That is depressing, my dude. I'm gonna be real. On the table could lead to Diaz and
Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
rewrite the story. I know you have like 10
Let's
minutes,
start
but
the show. Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
a million.
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you-know-who?
We don't know where you-know-who is. Also, who is you-know-who?
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now.
Never mind. Of course, we all know who this is.
She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake.
Paimon, I don't know if you know this. She was also super famous, and everyone knows exactly what she looks like. I don't know if this is a good plan.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous. Her! You're... That was a joke, right?
Do I look like I'm laughing?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Why not go talk to her? She loves the people of the city.
Well, yes, but...
But also, I haven't seen her since everything happened, and I hope that she's okay.
Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
I'm placing my bets on she's just absolutely fucking homeless.
As it happens, I have her current address here.
Never
I can
mind.
provide it to you.
Catherine, I don't think you should be giving that to us. I don't think you should just be handing that out. I mean, yes, it's us. We're the Traveler and Paimon, but like... Should you just be handing that out?
When did you get here?
came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Cool. We promise not to share this information anywhere because she deserves her privacy. Oh, I didn't have commissions in Fontaine yet. I didn't talk to Catherine. Silly me. Me never paying attention or noticing these things. This looks like a hotel. Steal some books while we're here.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives...
I literally just saw her. You're fine. She's coming up on your right.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
She's one girl who lived so selfishly for 500 years. I don't think she cares.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Furina, you're okay. And I love that you're still rocking the outfit. Good to see ya.
Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
Oh my goodness, she's living that college girl life.
I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
I told you, 100% fucking just fucking college. Hi Rin, thank you for the resub. 10 months, woot woot. Welcome to Furina. The Hydro Archon is now just a broke college student, and we love that for her.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity!
No dresses fabulously.
It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
She's just like me for real. Never leaves the house, always just makes simple ass meals.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
I know how to cook, I just don't care.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what
I know how to follow a
doing
recipe. Does
here?
that count as knowing
I
how to
do
cook?
hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
No, we actually came here for tea time. Oh, and also to invite you to a play. To be in the play, not to watch a play. We can also watch a play later.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
You shouldn't be allowed in the kitchen. Have you ever burned water? If you have not burned water, you're fine. Never mind, you're not fine. I take back my statement.
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the Traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Do you need one? Everyone else, all the other Archons, even without their no sight. Oh, that's right. No, you gave your power back to Nervalette. This is a good. This is a good question. How do you have hydropower? Is this story quest going to explain that? I don't have to be here to help.
It's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific?
I want you to star in a play.
I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
If we put you in a wig and a different outfit and no one knows it was, and maybe get like some colored contacts and no one knows it was you, then would you do it?
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage.
Valid.
Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was.
Hands up if you want to give Furina a hug if she lets you. I think she deserves it.
Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again.
No, but you can find out who you are. You don't have to do this
But
though.
at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
And if absolutely, luckily I think she's on vacation right now.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Paimon, we're not gonna force her.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross.
I'm actually really proud of her for this.
If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Yes, establish your boundaries and stick to them. You love to see it.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help. True, but
Something about that hurts my soul.
could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
She really is like me for real.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
I've got it. You can teach me how to act and to sing. All in the span of how long do we have? Like a day? I don't know.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Furina.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
I have a feeling Paimon did a little bit too much accidental guilt tripping right in front of her face. but it's fine.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Please, for the love of God, don't
Huh?
tell
What's
tell me
going
that
on,
anyone
Archon?
else. You told anyone else about Furina.
That's
think that's Centennial
besides the
properly.
point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Ooh, you didn't talk to her. Hi, B. B has appeared and will probably be joining us on audio-wise in a moment. But ooh, you didn't talk to her. Ooh, bad.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness,
I was talking
even
before.
when it's clearly
Well, there
flaring
you
up.
are. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I was talking before.
I did not hear you before.
Interesting. I got distracted. I'm still distracted, actually.
You're fine. Minecraft does that to all of us.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf? Shortly after you left, the troop's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform.
Hey, you know what? I know, like...
I also
half the-
missed the talk about Furina's macaroni.
You did miss the talk about Furina's macaroni. I'm sorry, but... If it helps any, we love her. She's great. We all agree on that point.
Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the
Because
role
you need to
perfectly.
respect her boundaries.
Exactly. It's like, she's like, nope, we're not doing it. We're like, are you sure? Nope, we're not doing it. Okay, cool, bye. See you later.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only us. Only those she loves.
Only joking. Calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we did anything.
Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
Okay, can you tough it out until the day after the performance?
I share
Or at least, like,
everyone's
5 minutes
desire
after?
to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Cool, end of commission. Story quest over, I guess. The end. All done.
Sure.
Hi, Furina.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all.
Furina, don't let us guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do.
When you came to talk with me earlier,
But also, this
I
is
jumped
entirely
right
expected.
to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You
Shouldn't
really
be
have a knack
apologizing
for
in the
asking
first
most
place.
uncomfortable
No.
questions, don't you?
But given her personality, it does not surprise me that she is. She shouldn't be. But I'm also just like, no, this sounds about right. Of course she would. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe.
Okay, lost is in she
kept
quit,
us going.
or lost is in something much worse.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe.
Oh.
And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
Boy, if we were just a little bit earlier in coming
No
to
sentence can bring our director
the
back
Fontaine
to
and
us.
solving that whole thing.
To be fair, it'd been happening for like 20 years or something.
True.
So it wouldn't have really
Yeah.
done
And,
much.
like, we've been onto that a while. We have not been onto that long.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
Because now she's, well, just like the title of the story quest, now she's her own little Oceanid.
She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us.
Why do I have a feeling I know what direction this is taking? You want a new director? And Furina doesn't want to be on stage anymore.
People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray.
Also, you missed it as well. She mentioned earlier that she doesn't even have a vision. So I'm like, wait. She doesn't have her gnosis. She gave her power back to Nervalette. And she doesn't have a vision.
Yeah.
Interesting. So she doesn't have any power at all. In this current state.
None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can.
Thank you for the
Despite
Pashak
our
Maya.
efforts,
Oh, and the
things are
hydrate.
slowly but surely
Hi.
falling apart.
How you doing, Maya? Welcome back, Rin. You're trying to figure out how Impact Third and Star Rail are connected?
There's a whole ass video
lot.
about that.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Oh, but yeah, Rin recently got into Star Rail and has actually passed me in the story quest, but I'm playing it again finally.
Discord is cutting out for some reason.
Let me. I don't like not sending you the entirety, like not sending you the Elgato at all, but
Yeah, I don't know why Discord made it like this.
because if I turn Elgato off from you being able to hear it, it's fine, right? But then you can't hear what's happening in the game.
Yeah, because I really want to hear what's happening in the
I
game,
know.
but it's like Discord, please fix your shit.
But yeah, Rin, it's alternate universe, and that technically aren't connected, except for one character.
Well, no, it is connected,
Connected?
but it's complicated.
Welcome to
That's all I
Hoyoverse.
can say. But that's why it's called Hoyoverse.
Mhm.
They're all still in the same kind of hole.
One Mr. Welt
They-
Yang, that is correct.
That's why I said I'd probably have to show a video because there's a video that goes literally into like the entire damn timeline.
Yeah, I've never played Impact Third. I know of it, but I never played it myself, so
It's agonizing. But ultimately,
now it's
we'd
way
rather
too
end
quiet.
things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Can I stop hitting blocks? I don't want it.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
It is not a sequel. I know that much. It is its own standalone experience.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you might get more like, oh, this is a fun little like tidbit if you know Impact Third, but beyond that, it's not important.
Like the storyline that they're doing right now, it is maybe a little important that you know Honkai Impact
the economy?
Third because of one character.
Mm.
Where it's kind of important that you at least know about her.
Okay, so Rin, you say that
But
it picks up in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
but it's a whole thing. It's complicated.
When you say it picks up in an odd place, like it kind of makes like so does Genshin. To be fair, Genshin's like, hey, you and your sibling are travelers from beyond the stars. Now you're on this planet, and your sibling's missing. Good luck. Star Rail just like, hey, you have no memories of who you are or what's going on. Have fun.
To be fair, Star Rail starts at the moment you're technically born.
That's a yeah. But you think you just have no memories, but no, but just there are no memories to have. And Kafka is your mom.
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic
I knew it. I
tale,
called it. I know what
can no
Furina's doing.
longer stand by and do nothing.
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself.
Good.
Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
Have I done her side quest yet? Not yet. I'm currently still on the Laofu. I just beat the deer.
Damn dear.
The damn deer. Our dear friend.
Oh, that's right. You're going to experience this new boss fight post nerf.
Oh,
I
that'll be
don't
fun.
need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late
I've
director.
been meaning to catch up on Star Rail, and every time I'm just like, I'll do that later. I'll do it later, and then I forget.
Something I've begun
Like,
to realize.
Pentaconi is probably what is probably bringing me back the most.
Everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
And now you're talking a little bit like Nahida. But also, you know, kind of makes sense.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh?
Paimon, she's been doing it for 500 years. You just kind of fall into a rhythm.
You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Oh my god, scared me with the fucking sticker. Look at all this. I've got egg all over me now. Rude. Who threw that?
I'm wondering what the fuck that was.
Rin. Thank you for the egg all over my chest.
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space.
That was a little
Please
bit louder than
excuse
I
the
expected it
size.
to be.
It's a little on the smaller side.
I can turn that down a little bit.
Do it to the hedges.
I always forget how nice the music here is in Fontaine. Which, before I actually started this quest, I had to talk to Catherine real fast, because apparently I forgot to do that. So, hey, now I actually have commissions in Fontaine available, and I did it before. Oops. I was wondering what that sound was, Rin. Jesus Christ. I was like, huh? Fucking another sticker. That was evil. That was very funny, though.
Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be
being
supporting
bonked.
our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
Ow, 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 ow. Look at that rubber mallet.
These two over here are the ones that made it possible.
They do a pain.
They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director.
Alright, look, you can punch me all you like. Why are you punching B? Why are you punching B? That's so rude. B, don't look to your right now. You're being punched.
Sorry, I'm still playing Minecraft.
One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to
Just
complete it.
slapping B
So,
over and over
if we can
again.
bring it to
They're
the
just
stage and make it a successful
not
show,
completely ignoring
we
it.
can all take some solace
That's
in that.
funny.
Look, re-downloaded this thing on a whim. Now I realize why I didn't play it again.
Look, I've been in a steampunk server for a little while, and I will occasionally jump back in, and then a few hours disappear. Isn't that right, Rin?
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form. Despite the protests of her family, she longed to live just like any other
Fuck, that's loud.
And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect.
Totally did not scare me. I'm totally unflappable.
But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
Sorry, Maya, turn the
far,
stickers
so
down a little bit.
good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Ah, the question that every artist has. The answer usually being yes.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
I have a bad feeling about this suddenly.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
'Cause, like, this is... I hope that this doesn't play too hard into everything that's already been happening the past few hundred years. With her being put up on a pedestal. And, you know... maybe that's happening again, and we're just gonna be like, put a stop to that.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
I'm gonna be real. It wasn't like, yeah, Poisson had a really bad flood, but also wasn't all of Fontaine flooded? For only like 5 minutes, but still.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson?
Furina?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Furina, are you okay? Are you gonna be okay with this?
Feels just like especially guilty about Poisson. That's... and I understand why, and it makes me feel bad.
Yeah. This poor place. God, when we came here right after the flood happened and it was like dead quiet and everyone was injured and it's like, oh. Oh, that was so recent. Oh, Fontaine is a story of pain.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
Not that, you know, all the other locations were all sunshine and rainbows, except for, I guess, Mondstadt, which is mostly all sunshine.
It's me. Is this
To some degree.
To some degree.
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Came all the way here for the thing that I was supposed to have a deadline on like a week ago?
Nice
Rude.
try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
You know what? This is the location for that one, Rin. Although I don't think we're gonna get any Ace Attorney today.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Oh, thank you. I was getting a little bit dirty. Thank you for polishing. Or thank you for the spritz.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
Hi, Navia. How are things with you and the girlfriend?
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Palo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll.
Ah, thank you. Nice little polish.
Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done.
Especially in Fontaine. I didn't ask for a therapy session from my Genshin.
Which
Yet.
brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina.
Cool, great, lovely.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
I won't let her out of my
Then.
sight.
Let's take
I
a
have a
look
bad
at that.
feeling of what would happen if I did.
I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
So, tea break at your place? Later? I'll bring cake. One's fucking staring.
I'm so grateful that Miss Nafia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
No! Boo!
I mean, it is understandable.
Understandable.
They don't,
But that doesn't
because
mean
they
that it's
don't.
right.
It's because they don't know. From what they know is that she's just been sitting there while everything's been going on. Because of course they're not gonna know anything about Focalor.
I know, but that's not. But I'm still just like, I can understand why they're upset and still think that it's wrong.
Also, because a lot of people in that place died.
I know. I know.
It's so they have a right to be upset.
They do. They have a right to be upset, and I understand why they are.
It just sucks. It just sucks because they don't know everything, but they also can't know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Okay, maybe this is a good time for us to get the fuck out of here. Maybe this is a good time for us to leave.
Probably time we made a move.
Oh, thank goodness, I'm not alone in thinking that.
How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there. More speed.
Ooh.
Hi, Monica. Welcome to Furina Did Nothing Wrong. The pain.
I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet.
I'm doing well. It's been a very, mostly relaxing day. How you doing?
I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant.
Hey. Trauma.
They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm.
See, this is why you shouldn't... That's not how that works.
And all the while, I played my part to perfection to
Oh,
convince
right.
them that was true.
That, you know what?
But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst case scenario.
Again, I ask, can I please give this girl a hug? And cake? Maybe some tea? A nice warm bed?
Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level,
freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Reward? I guess so. Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know. That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same. I do.
Paimon, I love you, but
I once
please
had
stop
nothing but the
talking
truth,
sometimes.
And now, I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now...
Paimon has no filter. I think we've learned this.
Yeah.
She can occasionally keep a secret, but even that's hard for her. And only in the most extreme circumstances.
At least the choice is in my hands.
There is, it just, words go from brain to mouth and it's out into the world. No thoughts, no filter. The end.
All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Both Paimon and the Ath. Yeah, I think we need to get out of this city. I don't think this is a good place for Furina to be for more than 10 seconds. Ow, I think I just hurt myself.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food.
He's got the right idea. Furina, deep, touching, meaningful conversation, Twitch, cat litter ad. I have a feeling it's trying to say something. Something rude and insulting.
Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking. That's your job.
Okay.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours.
You are definitely dating.
I've spent my whole life battling
If not in
with
actuality,
ill
then in
health,
spirit.
and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again.
It just means that they love each other.
We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
sorry.
Paimon, don't be rude.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Don't fucking... Boy. You have no idea what you're saying and who you're saying it to, do you?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
Well, the fun part is, keep the secret or not, it's a life of loneliness.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore.
What the fuck? Hello?
I spent some years taking
Tane has a
work
very
with fun
interesting
and
orphan problem.
trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway.
Why is the
for
Fatui
days at a
Harbinger the best
time.
parents in this fucking city?
It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Hello? Is everyone in your troupe having some weird ass fucking orphan story?
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Hey, dude, you're out. Awesome. How's the script?
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Hey, we're in Poisson. Maybe keep your voice down just a smidge. I know everyone already knows she's here, but still.
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I?
The script, how is it? Is it good? Or is it dog shit?
Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Okay.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
I feel like this is different than the story we were told earlier, but okay. Story about pollution? Interesting.
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
An unending, impossible depth of kindness.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues
Oh, that's a
down the path
that's a
to
very
extinction?
that's kind of on the opposite spectrum. That's a lot more, what's the word? Depressing? It's a lot more pessimistic.
That sounds like too cruel of an
Cruel,
ending
cruel,
to
that's a
me.
good word.
And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city
Yeah, that's what-
suggest that
someone's
maybe
suspicious
she
about
had
that.
some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me.
All right, look. First of all, backstep. Let's get into the guilt. Why is he feeling guilt? Second of all, this is not a competition.
Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life,
Okay.
I was deeply, madly in love with Aureli.
Or
What? You
I love how
can't
that's
quiet.
what apparently makes his more important. I'm just like, sir,
I'm like,
that's not how this
no.
works.
No. She was practically a mother to these two right here. And you're like, I was in love with her. I'm like, okay, great, cool. I'm sure that does really hurt you when she's gone.
Like, cool,
It's time to be
nobody
upfront.
asked.
No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel. I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners.
Well, it sounded like she was
And-
older than at least
And
those two.
it's like, and that's when you respect her wishes.
You respect that? Like, cool. Moving on.
Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear.
Oh, good. He did seem
So
to
I
respect
told her
that.
I'd always be there for the troop, and I'd always be there for her. I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up.
Okay,
and
hold on.
managing the
Never
troop
mind.
No longer requires
That's also
constant
no.
attention.
I was like, cool. It's like, hey, I love you. Like, I recognize that you won't reciprocate the same way, but that doesn't matter to me because I will be here for you because of out of respect and care. And then he ruins it with the, but also. It's like, no, you were good there. You could have stopped a step before.
Well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life.
You don't.
Bro, she won't fuck you. Get over it.
And now, that day will never come.
It was never going to.
No. It's like, dude. You know what? No, I already said my piece. I said my piece. I said what I think about it.
Hollow.
You can still be sad about it. That's fine.
So if
Yeah,
I'm
you
the
can
one
still
writing this
be
ending, then I'm
grief-stricken,
gonna make sure it
but
does right by
it's
O'Reilly.
like it does
I won't
not
let anyone
invalidate
get in the way of
anybody
that.
else's feelings, saying, "Oh, well, he probably didn't feel as bad as I do." I'm like, you
Yes,
can't
no,
say that
that's
to
absolutely the
somebody.
fucked up part.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilmont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though.
Again, maybe I'm just weird.
You really do get what I'm going through right now.
Am I weird in a little bit? Because I guess I'm so used to media being like, oh, well, if you don't love me back, then I'm going to go away forever. When I'm just like, no, if you don't love me back, I'm going to be here just to be like...
What? Discord cut out again?
I was saying, am I the weird one for being like, in media and stuff, it's always like, well, if you don't love me back, then I'm going to just go away forever and leave your life.
Discord, can you stop? I'm trying to hear the question.
Let me do this. So, in media, you know, a lot of times it's, I love you, but you don't love me back, so I'm just gonna leave. But in my mind, I'm always just like, okay, I love you, but you don't love me back, but it's like, I still want to be, like, part of your life and part of, like, and support you, because that's what that means to me. Is that weird?
Yeah, they don't do that because that's the normal response.
That's the normal, my response is the normal response?
Yeah, that would be the most, like, understandable response, but of course media's not going to do that because they want the drama.
That's true. You make a good point. Media wants the drama, and I'm just like, no, I just want people I care
That's
about.
the more common that's the more common sense approach.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y.
But at the same time, I'm sitting there like, I can only say so much because I don't understand those feelings. I look at it and I'm just like, it's easier said than done of why can't you just think of it this way? And I'm just like, right, because I don't understand completely how, like, allomantic people work through this stuff.
Yeah.
My brain is very much think of it through, like, a logical point.
I do.
God, this kelp is getting in the way.
More speed.
Why did I decide to build on the fucking water?
Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
I like her. I like her a lot. No, hold on. There's a treasure chest here. I want to look. You know, I'll do it later. It's just gonna taunt me in the background of this cutscene.
As if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour. Wait. Why are you all looking at me? You're not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
You know what? That's not entirely accurate, but at the same time, it's close enough to the truth.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas,
forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
I'll be real, even if you had your power, I'm like, Furina, you sit this one out. You get some rest, girl.
Too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Oh no! Slimes. How terrifying.
Get with me.
Beg for mercy.
Oh no, whatever shall I do against 3 slimes?
Shudder.
Oh, 4 slimes. Oh, 5 slimes.
Let's light it up.
6?
Stabilize.
Dissipate. Out of the way.
However many there were, they're dead now.
Good show. You certainly live up to your reputation.
Now, how do I get this
thank
treasure
you.
chest?
Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Oh, hello. What is this? Ah. I
If you-
found a treasure chest.
You hit that thing, it switches the platform. That's why I was going to say, like,
Wow.
a lot of Fontaine puzzles are so much easier with bow users.
I mean, I can
Which
always
is why
switch over to-
Which is why some of exploring Fontaine just really feels like, hey, did you pull Lenny or not?
No, but I have Yellen, so I should be fine. To be fair, you literally start the game with Amber.
No, I mean because his thing is the regional specialties.
Okay, so how does this work?
If you hit you hit them to basically like to alternate.
To alternate what, the platforms?
Yeah. You just have to hit it once. To be fair, it should be in the tutorial section.
Well, I probably saw these things before and then forgot. Oh, whoops. I messed up. I didn't plan that one, did I? Alright, one more try. So I want this treasure chest. It's taunting me.
God, this damn kelp is getting in the way. Why is it so tall?
Oh no! Uh-oh.
Take it easy.
That was incredibly rude. I was right there. I have no one but myself to blame. Okay, I see. The last one is... No? What do you mean? Hold on. Did I miss? There we go.
Easy money.
I did it. I win. Nothing else matters. Moving on. I'll do the others later.
Take it easy.
Knock knock. Anyone home?
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the
You
show.
know something. What do you know? My bet's on the fact that it was not a standard serial disappearance case because it doesn't necessarily fit up with the rest of the details.
If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Fiamma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Do I respect that, or do I say too
Listen,
bad?
Fiamma, I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire.
Does Fontaine have a mafia problem?
So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances.
Why does it sound like the same motherfuckers that were down in the pancration ring?
It seemed like a win-win.
The Panta people.
So,
That's the
I
one.
said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
That's not a drink. That's a drug.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe, and it wasn't my fault.
It was a little bit, but also...
It's an understandable accident.
Yes, understandable accident.
But
you're not completely blameless, but also what happens next is definitely not your fault.
Yeah, it's just a little a stupid mistake. Because
Should not have
nobody
ended in
could have
someone
predicted
dying.
that.
Things must have reached a boiling point.
This ending in someone's death is absolutely not his fault. Ow. Thank you, Delphi, for the Pokeball.
I admit this whole thing
Thank
was
you for
my
the
mistake.
lyric. Enjoy
I didn't
WrestleMania.
dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
You know, survivor's guilt and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why
I had a
in
feeling
God's
this was
name
gonna
didn't
happen.
you tell us? What do you mean you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her. How could you be so stupid?
You couldn't do anything. What are you talking
also,
about?
He didn't know it was a
They
life and death
had not-
situation.
Yeah, they hadn't been able to do anything about that guy for 20 years.
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has
She
been
wasn't
right
gonna
when I wrote
fuck
this,
you.
claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
He is. Isn't that kind of what he's doing out here, alone? Like, not necessarily full responsibility, but he's definitely taking some penance.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve.
Nope, nope, we're not gonna go that far. We're no violence, please.
End my life so I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face
Okay,
again.
nope, we're gonna drag you backwards a little bit. You don't get to make this choice, my dude.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
Being mad at someone doesn't necessarily mean that they're, like, being harsh or rude. It can also mean that they care a lot. In fact, it often does.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
That's a move.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
Let's go see if she left a diary.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on O'Reilly's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now, and wait for our good news.
What if we don't find anything, though, Furina? What if there is nothing left? Do we make something up? Do we lie to them? I'm not above lying. I'm okay with a little bit of a lie sometimes. In these very specific and dramatic circumstances.
aircraft with a drifting controller is suffering.
You want to review
Rest
some
in peace.
recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
That doesn't, something about that doesn't feel right legally. But I'm not gonna
I'm
argue
still
with
not
you.
gonna get over the fact that that's fucking Jimmy Neutron.
I keep forgetting that.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person, and this tattered old notebook.
Let's read the tattered old notebook. She's dead now. Let's go through her diary.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives.
See, this is why you carefully look through all the evidence that you find in the weird, freaky cave. You read everything.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
How depressing is it? Someone else was taken. That makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th? Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching, but what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry. I'm so sorry. I can write no more. I think I have a fever, and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I am more fortunate than could I see. The pain keeps her awake all night. I suppose I think that anything goes so long as the experimental subjects can be used up before they die. So damp here. I have given her my blanket. So cold, so cold, so cold. As long as one persists, all things will pass. There will be a reward for hard work. I like to tell them such things, but it is I who am losing my grip. If anyone sees this troop safe, important, please, farewell, apologize, life, perform, future, get, Cleo. From this page onward, the diary stops, to be replaced with lyrics from musicals. Some are in the form of newspaper clippings, others are handwritten with many crossings out and changes. It is apparent that the pages have been referenced often and that this was the personal notebook of artistic director O'Reilly.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Flipping through the notebook, the lyrics continue. However, one page has been torn out, folded up, and placed next to the last blank page. At the bottom of the folded note are 2 new lines O'Reilly has written, in handwriting much more legible than before, but it seems that it took her both great effort and a great deal of time to write. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Because I am an older sister to them. I love them.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. And she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
Take it easy.
I'm trying to think of anything to say in response to all that, but I've really got nothing. I'm just kind of... here. I'm just kind of in pain. This woman truly cared from the bottom of her heart. Some are lost for words, some weep bitterly, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. Gee, I wonder who that last one was. A long time passes before the group is able to calmly come together and finally make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director O'Reilly and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Come on, now's not the time. It's about emotion. Feeling. The heart.
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless
Hiya, boy. Thank you for the resub.
important thing.
Fontaine is incredibly dramatic, and it never stopped being dramatic. And painful. But that's why we love it.
If you want to move the audience with your music,
Hope you're doing well
you
today.
must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions love, hate, regret, and hope just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
It's been rainy but chill. I do like... Here's my thing about rain. I love a very good thunderstorm when I don't have to go outside. If I have to go outside, stop. Stop.
Yeah.
No.
That shit helps me sleep.
I don't remember how many years, but for years, I would just pull up thunder noises. Like, not thunderstorms, because not the rain, but like the thunder noises on my phone. Like on YouTube, just to sleep too.
Yeah, I now lately just to like help me get to sleep.
I mean, now I found like some other like chill music, like sleep music. They used to be thunderstorms. Which is funny, because when I was a little kid, terrified of thunder.
It's usually because like I have like the thunderstorm stuff like in the background while I have something else playing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina.
It also feels like thunderstorms aren't as
supporting us
common
through
now
all
as they
this.
were when I was a kid, and I don't know if that's a weather thing or a perception thing. I assume it's perception.
Meanwhile, it's been storming here for like the past week.
Well, it's like we get a lot of rain. And like rain happens somewhat regularly, although I guess not that regular, but an actual thunderstorm. No.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get
You're
it nailed
living in
down
Tornado
once and
Alley
for all.
currently. We get a lot of wind. But that's not thunder. That just makes the windows make weird noises.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
If there is rain, there is lightning, no exception. Oh, that's what you grew. That's what you're used to. Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm used to. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. Zeus, Thor, whoever, whatever thunder god of your choice, has been taking a vacation the past 15 years or whatever.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. Alright, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
You're not thinking what I think you're thinking, are you, Furina?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
That was the Midwest.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
I think that
It really is a dream come true.
I think they're gonna need a lot of like rehearsals on that stage because otherwise that's gonna be fucking terrifying.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too.
Don't give them that pressure.
Come on.
I know you're
We'll need
just
to get
having
the
a
go-ahead
fun
from
little
the act.
laugh, but
I know just where
terrifying.
to find them.
Go see Neverlet and be like, "Hey, Dad, can we use the big stage for like a bunch of our friends?"
Stand with me. Hey, look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
Hi, we have a bunch of amateurs and we want them to use the big stage.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand.
This is going to be the most important show of your
Process for
life.
booking the
Don't
Opera
fuck it up.
Epiclese is complex
Okay,
and
I
can
love
be
you. No
somewhat
pressure.
cumbersome.
Everything's fine. Go have fun.
Given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the Little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Furina, you know what? No, it's fine. I was about to say, I thought we'd agree that you would stop lying.
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role.
Say what now?
It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
I mean, yes, wait.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions.
Keep those boundaries.
Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission.
Go, Furina. We love to see you establishing and maintaining boundaries.
I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
You are very welcome.
This just loves his daughter.
He's a very loving dragon dad. I almost said dragon daddy, and I'm like, do I want to say the full sentence?
Same thing.
Yeah. In this case,
same difference.
Yeah. Exactly my. That brings up the question: is Nervalette daddy?
I mean, everyone says he is.
I feel like. Your voice says yes. I feel like I just literally passed a chest that was up there, but that's fine.
It's like between his design and the fact that this man is voiced by Ray Chase, it's probably a pretty big yes.
Yeah. I guess for whatever reason in my mind, Risley, design-wise at least, Risley is more daddy.
The thing is, they both are.
They're both daddy, but they're daddy in very different ways.
Well, in very similar ways.
Similar, but at least in design-wise, where Risley is the much more gruff kind, and Nervalette is much more well put together.
It's actually funny, because, yeah, it's like, when we ship things, we joke, but the funny thing is that their designs actually go together.
Hey, hold on.
Their designs are like actually like the inverse colors of each other.
Just like I'll hate them in what's his face? Oh look, they're right next to each other in the character list. Oh, because they're
blue and white, black and red. They're actually the inverse of each other.
Oh, even their hair parts on the opposite sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go around Fontaine, there are a lot of like I think they're either geese or like swans or something, but they look very much like the two of them. And then there's one spot in specifically where it's just the black one and the white one just staring at making a heart with their necks. That's really all I'm saying.
You know what? Also, I don't know why in my mind, every time I imagine Risley, I always imagine him with like a little bit of scruff and like beard here, bit.
Yeah.
He's so clean shaven. By my brain, I imagine him with like, especially being down in the prison all the time. He's always got a little bit of scruff to him. I think he'd be hot with a little bit of scruff.
you probably assume that he probably does. Either that, or he would have some, but Siegewing keeps telling him to shave.
You know what? Siegewing doesn't. No, I feel like. In my brain, the way I imagine it, is he almost always has the scruff, but whenever something important's happening, or when someone important's gonna visit, she makes sure that he shaves, or if it's getting too long. I don't know what it is about his design that I feel like he should have a little bit of facial hair, but now that I think about it, none of the male characters in this game do, at least playable. Where are our male characters with facial hair? Where are your mustaches? Where are your beards?
To be fair, we haven't really gotten a playable character with facial hair until like just now in Star Rail. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but Star Rail is also newer.
No, I mean we haven't gotten anyone with facial hair in Hoyo until now.
Okay, I get you. I guess it makes sense to have Star Rail because they have a little bit more variety in their models for their base models.
Like until Gallagher, nobody's had facial hair.
That's right. Yeah. Well, even Gallagher doesn't have a whole lot. He's got some.
He has a little.
Risley, I never noticed that you had handcuffs on you at all times.
Yeah. One of his auto animations has him twirling them.
Yeah, that's what he just did. That's why I saw them. This dude is just exactly Maya.
I mean, he is the law.
Well, that's true. He's the law. Nervalet's the order. God, okay, where are we? What are we doing? Sorry, I got distracted by daddies. That's a weird sentence coming from me specifically, but I guess I'm getting more used to it.
The opera epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Nervalet was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance.
I don't know if it was much of a speech. He said, hey, can we use the opera? And he said, sure. And then he waited 5 seconds and he said, what for?
We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. But we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance.
And it was at this moment when Furina absolutely accidentally adopted this troupe and became their director.
A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiumali and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Oh, you two work together! I'm so proud of you! Bastard.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have.
She quit acting and moved into producing. I think she'd be much happier as a producer.
It's amazing. Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Of course, those two are. Well, no, I can't tell if that's in character or not.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back.
Maya.
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long
Man,
time.
strip clubs have gotten really. They put a lot of storytelling into their stripping these days.
If only...
Called a show for nothing.
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage.
Why?
Oh, I
Why
had a
does it
feeling this
have
was
to
gonna
be
happen.
now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
Or did you lie about them?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
I don't like the idea of the story forcing Furina onto stage again.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show
Will
go
say
on
this sucks,
without
but
its
I will also say
performer?
this is just also very unfortunate circumstance.
It is.
Because illness just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Furina, I'd
you
like to
can't
make
tell
a
illness when to
request of
fuck
you.
off.
They're too small to have any understudies, and they can't afford to pay anyone. Which is why this whole commission started in the first place.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask.
And again,
Yeah, and the
that's
fact
her
that she
personality.
also,
I understand why she's doing it.
and it's the fact that at the end, like she is doing it of her own volition. She's doing it because
Mm-hmm.
she volunteered. She's like, okay, I see what's going on. Okay, I'll do it.
It's like she didn't give them time to ask, and she was probably even thinking about this the moment they saw that she was sick.
Loic, your character has no more scenes.
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
I'm going to answer this before Furina does. It's her love and care for others and the people around her.
It's her pure heart.
That's kind of what I said.
Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once
Cord,
stopped
I'm gonna need you to
believing
not
in
cut
this
out
world.
during this part.
Okay, you know what's slightly
Well
different than what I said, but close enough. I think I was sort of correct still.
I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
And they don't have time for a costume change.
You better not cut out during this part, or I swear to Christ.
Is she here yet?
Will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
I'm trying not to die. Trying not to die. I'm okay. I'm very okay. I'm very normal.
Is it just
The
me?
fact that Discord
that
cut
me
out
Furina on
most
the
of the
stage
stuff,
just now?
I'm so
No!
upset. Because that is one of my fucking favorite songs in this goddamn game.
I remember that what I did last time we played was, I think, by boosting. I thought that hoping by boosting Elgato it would go through Discord better. I wish I knew how to make that work. Am I normal about this, By Beast? I don't know. That was a really beautiful song. I'm kind of not okay. I'm not okay.
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
But that was based on the beginning conversation of this story quest. Thank you, Maya. I kind of expected that she would get her vision at the end of it. I wasn't expecting it during the song.
The Little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me.
I don't think people can... Well, no one can see your eyes. They're pretty far away. There's a lot of light. But also, the outfit's pretty memorable.
It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Okay. And there goes all the anonymity.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back!
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
Agreed. Hard agree.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Boy, I wish we had that rule out in our reality.
For real.
Fucking hell.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
Okay, I just need your top hat. I would love your outfit, actually. Do you have, like, a spare that I can wear? No? Yes, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what
And notice
happened there
vision
either.
looks.
But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
What was that, B?
Just notice how her vision looks.
It looks like Inoshi did?
No, her her vision is unique compared to any other Fontaine visions.
Oh. Also, it just continues to bring up the question of where the fuck do these things come from?
They kind of talk about it. It's like we half know, but we half don't know.
Because the idea of they're gifted by the gods, but like clearly there's no Hydro Archon to give a Hydro vision. And they don't just hand them out willy-nilly. Or consciously.
Because like because look at the cute thing about her. It has the little claws on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like little dragon claws or teeth.
Yeah, I was about to say, it has the teeth and it has what look like the ocean is like water wings.
I mean, those are on the...
All of them?
Those aren't all of them.
Oh, that the audience has never seen.
It's the fact that her
such a
vision is a
realistic
mix
prop.
between Usia and Numa. It has the dragon fangs or claws, whichever one it would be.
Oh.
Wait.
Because
what
we know
about
this
Dolphy?
one was specifically given to her by
Wonder how she's
Numa.
doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Eddie the Vision God shows up and chucks it at you. Sometimes he accidentally beams you in the head with it, and then you see a vision of stars.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went.
I might legitimately have to go and find that on YouTube later just to listen to that again, because that was really good.
If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Oh, to be able to sing like that. Dolphy, was that her name? My brain is messing up because I keep thinking about our Delphi. That I think is currently lurking and watching WrestleMania.
You're back.
Like, no, that's not quite the right name.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage! You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning!
That's wonderful.
Wait, how do we... I was gonna ask how we know that Neverlet gave her vision himself, but I have a feeling either we're gonna get that answer or you're gonna say it's somewhere else entirely.
I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
Oh, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
All right, let's let these two flirt, argue in peace. Everyone out the door. Let's go.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Is that what you call it? Paimon's face.
Any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to.
Secretly married. I don't know if it's that much of a secret, to be honest.
You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
But considering the source of this story, I have a feeling they're not going to want to do that.
No, we should still disband.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. Maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Do whatever feels right.
There was once
Be
a
free.
time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future.
Beast cookie clack keyboard. It is very cookie clack. It's quite enchanting.
I'm sure this is.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is on the
director O'Reilly
side.
as well.
Because I got one of the
Sounds like you're ready to stop
Chris got me
running
one
from
of the
your true calling.
the Switch keyboards.
A keyboard for your Switch?
No, the one with the switches.
The switches. What do you mean the switches?
That's what's making the
One that
yeah.
sounds more like a mechanical keyboard. It purposely has
Yeah.
the sound.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand now.
The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Story quest complete. Let's talk to everyone before we
It's
leave.
ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands.
The gods. Are you sure? Your dad came down and said, "Here you go. You know what? You've learned some valuable lessons. Here's a new toy."
Is that how humans feel about it as well?
I know we don't have all of them, but just the archons you have should have voice lines about Furina unlocked if you have the
Oh, you're right. Let me
high
check.
enough friendship.
Zhongli's level 10. He definitely should. I do have a new voiceover. I need to go find it. Where is it? Where is it? No? What? I must have passed it.
up.
What about Zhong? There it is.
She made a contract with her own self to save the nation. Strictly adhered to it for over 5 centuries without once wavering, and even fooled the heavenly principles in the end. I have great respect for approaches to justice that place exacting demands not only on others, but also on the self. Though her divinity has vanished, and the throne of the Archon is no more, Furina will go down in Fontaine's history as a god of justice worthy of recognition.
Oh. The one that you saw was this Ascension one, probably. The
Yeah,
only other
no.
one I have... I don't know if it's high enough for a... I got... Nope, here it is.
For 5 centuries, I dueled the Raiden Shogun in my personal realm of consciousness to confirm the steadfastness of my will. Yet this Furina you speak of, though possessing only a frail human body, committed herself to acting out her part every second of every day for 500 years. A true battle of the spirit. Her willpower has indeed reached the level of a god.
Oh.
Literally, all of the Archon's voice lines about her are just them gassing her up, and I love that so much. It's just them talking about how well she did, and for a human.
I need to get friendship level 4 with Nikita to get hers. She's currently at only 2, so that'll take a while.
And I don't know if you have Nuvalet high enough friendship to see his line about her, but
Probably not.
he's such a
friendship
such
4,
a
maybe.
dad.
I might actually. I was once. Well, actually,
I was once advised to wear a counterfeit vision so that I might more easily intervene during moments of crisis. To be quite frank, I was not enamored by this suggestion, nor the implication that one must only exercise the power that is rightfully theirs under false pretenses. With that said, however, I have developed a newfound appreciation for the value of human yearning and determination, having spent considerable time around vision-bearing humans. Excuse me? You're saying that even some members of the Seven don a counterfeit vision before mingling with their people? My apologies. I was just caught off guard by the absurdity of the situation.
Oh my god, he was about to actually laugh. That's really funny. Alright, here's Furina.
Now the curtain has finally fallen on her performance. The character she portrayed was an imaginary one, yet in playing that role, she fulfilled her duties. Though she is meek and full of doubt by nature, she was able to use madness to stiffen her resolve and see her duty through to its conclusion. The work that she has done over the centuries is truly immense. If she were to ever make a return to the stage, I should personally attend the performance and give her my heartfelt applause. Yes, I must do so when the opportunity arises.
And this voice line, people think, is what is basically going on at the end of that story quest. His heartfelt applause is the gift of her vision. He's such a dad.
It's beautiful. You love to see it. But okay, we did it. B, I think we did it. We did all the Archon quests. We did all the Archon story quests. Now everything else is additional and stuff that I'll probably do on my own. But with that said, I think that we're done with Genshin on stream for a little bit. What do you think?
I still want to do Linny's on stream. Just for me. This is just for me personally.
Do you want to do it on stream, or do you want to just make sure I do it with you?
I want to do it on stream. This is just for me personally, so I can cry. Yes.
I imagine it's one that will take another full stream to do, though.
Probably.
Every time we're like, hey, we're right there, we're at the end, we're done with Genshin. Nope. Got a
Yeah,
little
we're
more.
basically. This is just for me, personally.
And you know what? I love that for you. Maybe we'll do that. Well, I was about to say we need to figure out what we're going to do after Genshin anyways, but I think we already have that answer, don't we? I'm pretty sure we're doing Persona 3 Reload. How's that sound?
Hell yeah.
So that'll be very fun when we get there. But I think it's a little bit early, but it's not that early. But I think this is a good point to... Yeah, I think this might be a good time to call... Oh, unless we can finish... How much do I have left in Arnara?
You have quite a bit.
Because I need to do Children of the Forest,
Because Children of the Forest involves a lot of those things below it.
A lot of these?
Like, at least, yeah, it involves the Verona, the Starry Night chapter, the Vimana one. Like, all of those are part of the R&R quest.
I think... Oh, so these three right here. Okay.
And
a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Okay, then. I think we're gonna call it there tonight, then. Let me see what we got here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Not a lot going on tonight. So I think we're just gonna call it and end it there. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you all enjoyed the beautiful song and some fun times with the archon that makes you cry. Which one am I talking about? I don't know. We got a couple options. I've been drinking water all night, and yet... But that's all for me today. This week for sure we should actually be back with Ace Attorney. I apologize for not streaming last week. I had doctor stuff. But that's all for tonight. That's all for this week. Thank you all for joining us. I love you all. We'll be back later. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, y'all. And enjoy the eclipse tomorrow if you are in a place where you can see it. And if the weather permitting. God, I hope weather permits. Any last words, B?
Well, the stuff keeps cutting out, so it's sometimes just hard to hear, and I'm
Sorry.
so upset.
Hopefully when we move over to Persona, that shouldn't be an issue anymore.
Hopefully.
Check your Discord audio settings, maybe. We should look at that stuff.
I haven't... because I haven't... because it used to be okay, and then I don't know what...
Not a clue.
happened otherwise.
We really need to remember to mess with that at some point. I was asking if you had any last words, considering this was your, girl follow your daughter story quest.
I love her, and I want her to just be happy in life, because she deserves everything good.
Just like you do.
And pulling her was so worth it. I will get you your sword next time you come around, I promise.
And that's all from us. Good night. Farewell. We love you. Mwah.